Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 1 of Dezzy Craft, the series where I play Minecraft. This is going to be a single-player Let's Play, and when I say Let's Play, I use that term pretty loosely because I am an idiot in this game, so you're going to see lots of fails, you're going to see lots of triumphs, at least I'm hoping. So go grab yourself a nice cup of coffee, hot cup of cocoa. I got an energy drink right here, freshly bought. Let me take a sip. That's good heart failure. Oh, wait, we're not doing Minecraft? Well, what else am I supposed to do? I got another week, maybe, of making the next Kenshi video. What the hell am I supposed to give these people in the meantime? Oh. Yeah, that works. Risk of Rain 2 is one of my favorite games, a game that I just keep coming back to time and time again, and when there are times where no other game seems to entertain me, this chaotic tidal wave of a third-person shooter ropes me back in with its electric music. Risk of Rain 2 is a roguelike third-person shooter developed by Hoopoo Games. It's a fast-paced, tense, eye-exploding mess of fun that is incredibly addicting, and to be honest, I just want to talk about all the aspects of why I love this game. Because if there's one thing I like doing on this channel, it's ranting for very long periods of time on why I love specific games. First, you're going to need the lore for this universe, as this game has a very, very complex timeline and lore and characters. So here you go. That all makes sense? Good. Let's get into the fun stuff. Here are all the fun characters you can play in Risk of Rain. All of them have their own loadouts, backstories, play styles, but none of that matters because you should only be playing multi. Nah, I'm just kidding, all these characters are fun. You've got Loader, who's a big, chunky melee powerhouse who likes to get up in the enemy's face and just smack the hell out of them with her giant fists. You got the Bounty Hunter, who is an elusive range damage dealer with a very good all-around kit, with the options to do close range and long range combat, and a reliable get me the fuck out of here move. You got Mercenary for all you Demon Slayer fans who want to swing around a katana like you have any idea how to properly use it, and Multi, aka Wally when he's finally snapped and had enough. These aren't the only characters, there are a wide variety of special heroes that you can play, and additional ones if you have the Survivors of the Void DLC. Each of these characters has specific, unique loadouts that gives them different playstyles, and they even have an alternate ability that you can unlock through playing the game and completing certain challenges. The way progression works in this game is very similar to other roguelikes. You kill shit, you get cool loot, you kill bosses, and you rinse and repeat until you finally get to the last boss, and then you absolutely get your ass slapped and tossed back to the beginning of the game. Risk of Rain 2 doesn't try to change the roguelike formula a whole lot, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to fix something that ain't broken. But compared to other roguelikes that I've played, I've always preferred Risk of Rain 2 over them. But why? Well, I think it's three main things. One is the gameplay. It is so smooth and extremely satisfying. I don't know if I just have big dumb brain that only likes games where I shoot big fucking gun, but the third person camera angle works really well for this game, and I cannot think of another game that gives me so much serotonin from just punching a dude into the afterlife as Loader. Insane item stacking is a common thing in these types of games, and so eventually you'll just become a god, which is super fun. I wish more games would let you achieve such high levels of power, and I will admit at a certain point the game stops being about actual tactical gameplay and just becomes a giant spam simulator where you just hit every single button as fast as possible, but at that point you're about 3 hours into a run and you're just having fun. Second is the enemy design, art style, and music. The enemies in this game are so cool looking. Every single one of them is fun and interesting to look at, and a lot of them have unique attacks and slightly different ways to fight them. Now again, in the late game, tactics kind of go out the window as it just becomes spam city, but early on in the run, there are many different tactics for fighting different enemies. The art style in this game is also beautiful. It gives the world a certain dream-like ethereal look, and the music, I don't even need to talk about this game's soundtrack, right? Everyone knows that Everyone knows that Chris made an absolutely stellar OST for this game. And if you aren't in the know about how good this soundtrack is, let me just play this for you. Let me ask you something. What do you think when I say boss fight? A few characters may jump to your mind, Melania from Elden Ring, or Hades from Hades, or the Ender Dragon from Minecraft. There are a lot of good heavy hitters for memorable bosses, but no boss has filled me with so much excitement, terror, and absolute epicness, and I don't use that word very lightly, quite like Mithrix. Mithrix is the god of the moon who has beef with his brother and he's super depressed, but you got all that from the information lore board that I did at the start of this video. All you need to know about this guy's boss fight is that it goes unimaginably hard. This fight is a boss fight done right. Mithrix is quick, but if you're paying attention and have good reaction time, you can dodge him easily. His big hammer down move that does a ton of damage has a long windup giving you time to evade, and his big ground slam is very long and basically impossible to not dodge unless you suck. Stage 2 does get a bit harder as he moves faster and does some bullshit AoE spin move that instantly kills you if you're even slightly out of position for a second, and you got to deal with other enemies spawning into the area, but overall this fight is amazing. And that music. Oh, that music. Mithrix is one of my favorite bosses in all of video games. He isn't easy, especially on Monsoon. He will backhand you all the way back to the starter zone if you slip up even once. But the presentation, the music, the way this guy moves, the way he fights, it's all just so enjoyable. And even when you get stomped into the curb by this guy, you immediately want to try and fight him again just because he's so much fun to fight. And I think the best thing about this boss fight is while the rest of the game kind of turns into a giant spam fest when you get enough items, Mithrix never really turns into a spam fest because he scales with how long you're playing a run. So even if you're 3 hours in and you decide to fight Mithrix, he will have health that reflects how long you've been doing the run. So he'll always be a challenge, unless you get some insanely broken run, but you know, that's like a 1 in 100 chance, and at that point you just got really lucky and a pat on the back, good for you, you beat the game. But because Mithrix will always be challenging, that means that depending on the survivor you're playing as, the fight can play out completely different. Like for example, when I was playing multi, I was doing my favorite run as him, where you just do double machine guns and you just mow people down in this special kind of tank mode. And this is really fun because I literally just stood still and just kept shooting Mithrix and doing a ton of bleed damage. But if you were playing, say, Artificer, you'd obviously want to stay in the air and keep your distance. If you were playing Commando, you'd be sliding all over the place. If you were playing Mercenary, you would be dead because Mercenary sucks. So that's another reason why this boss is great, is no matter how far you've been doing a run or what character you're playing, you'll have a slightly different experience fighting him every single time depending on your hero. Now, there's a lot I didn't talk about in this video, and it may be a little bit shorter. There's lots of secrets and extra little hidden areas in this game, but I'm not going to tell you any of them, because I genuinely want people to give this game a shot. And it's a lot of fun, and I feel like if I explained every single little hidden thing in this game, it would take a lot of the fun out of it. Risk of Rain 2 has an excellent gameplay loop that even when you die after a 2-hour run, you still want to immediately boot up a new run and go again, which is something that is surprisingly hard to do in roguelike games. I'm looking at you, Darkest Dungeon 2. And with the Seekers of the Storm DLC on the way, it is a great time to get into this game and experience this beautiful downpour and the soft rain it brings in Risk of Rain 2. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Kenshi video soon. Do not worry. I wanted to make a shorter, quicker, happy video about why I like video games. And you should play this video game because it's a good video game. But yeah, don't worry. Kenshi video next time. Okay, bye.